Good morning, everyone. Warm greetings to you all from Morocco. I'm Dr. Drissia CHOUIT, Professor of Comparative Linguistics, Communication and Media Studies, and a representative of Moulay Ismail University of Meknes in Morocco to the UNESCO and the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations University Network on Media and Information Literacy and Intercultural Dialogue. I'm so delighted to be with you today. First of all, I would like to thank Dr. Vijay Kulkarni, chair of this international conference, for the great honor of inviting me to participate in the inaugural session of this international conference as a guest of honor, and to congratulate him and Ajeenkya Dypatil University for organizing this highly important multidisciplinary international conference on contemporary issues in education, bringing together experts and professors from around the world to share their experiences and expertise in higher education. I take this opportunity to highlight the importance of media and information literacy for the futures of education. In fact, one of the pressing issues of contemporary education is to ensure media and information literacy for all across curricula and age groups as an integral part of quality education for all and a fundamental human right to be accessible and empowering to all. UNESCO has taken the lead in making media information literacy one of its top priorities, especially after launching, in cooperation with the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations, the UNESCO-UNAOC University Network on Media and Information Literacy and Intercultural Dialogue in 2011, of which I have the honor to be a founding member, and the adoption of the UNESCO Global Media Information Literacy Week, which is celebrated worldwide on a yearly basis, and which was adopted by the UNESCO member states at the General Conference of 2019 and adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 2021. Why this global mobilization for media information literacy? Why should it be a top priority for all educational systems to incorporate media information literacy in their respective curricula? In fact, to face the challenges of the digital age, explosion of information, threats to peace and democracy, and threats of disinformation, media information literacy has become an urgent need and a fundamental requirement in the education of young generations because it sharpens their critical thinking, fosters their independent judgment and agency with an open mind and democratic and participatory approach. Skills that enable at the same time to counter disinformation and to build peace. To give more details, first, media information literacy empowers students to engage with media, information, and digital technology in meaningful and effective ways by equipping them with the abilities to identify their information needs, to locate and access the needed information, to evaluate its quality and reliability by applying critical thinking to text, images, and technology itself, and to synthesize information and use it effectively, ethically, and creatively. Obviously, students who lack these skills are at a big disadvantage at all levels of their lives because the quality of decisions that we make depends on the quality of information that we have, be it at the level of research, election, civic engagement, etc. Second, media information literacy is empowering to become active citizens fully involved in the life of their society because it raises awareness about the importance of freedom of expression and freedom of the press for democracy and development. It helps to understand different types of media ownership and media systems and their impacts on the quality of journalism. It also helps to understand the nature and functions of mass media and their impacts on individuals and society. And it highlights the importance of news literacy because of the major role played by news in strengthening democracy. In fact, understanding the fabric of news helps to understand the process of newsmaking, which may disclose media bias because they are impacted by the lenses and values of journalists and their organizations. Hence, the importance of free, independent, and pluralistic media, and the need to diversify sources of information. Therefore, it is essential to raise awareness about the importance to get information from verified authoritative sources and to cross-check information, paying particular attention to whether facts are clearly stated, whether they cover all sides of the story, and whether they are supported by sound evidence. At a time when most students do not care about news, and when they do, they get their information from unverified sources of social media. Media information literacy is a prerogative to a well-informed and active citizenry. The role of educators as change makers is evident in this regard. Third, with the search of disinformation, especially organized disinformation, media information literacy has become imperative in order to empower citizens with the knowledge and skills not to be duped by disinformation and to be able to counter it. In fact, this information has become the most worrying new trend because of its large scope and far-reaching effects. It is a serious threat with global reach which should be combated on all fronts. It is a threat to health and well-being. This is with particular reference to the infodemic that erupted concurrently with the COVID-19 pandemic. It is a threat to democracy as it either harbors on mistrust in media and democratic institutions and builds on the axiom divide to rule, or it strives to keep the status quo, privileging those in power and their narratives. It is a threat to peace and diversity as it harbors a culture of fear, hatred, and exclusion, exacerbating violence, tensions, and conflicts, which may lead to wars and social unrest. For sure, these multifaceted types of threats constitute serious barriers to development. This is an extremely serious problem. This is why we need a whole of society approach approach of media information literacy, aiming to cultivate a culture of media information literacy so that media information literacy becomes a way of being and a way of behaving. The power of media information literacy to counter disinformation should be fostered at all levels of society, on top of which educational systems as a balancing power, accessible, empowering, and liberating for all. Thank you for your attention.